We have entered a new era of entrepreneurship and influence and persuasion. Social media has been around for a while and it's evolved. And I think in large part, people have grown tired of the inauthentic and generic influencer pushing product and not adding any value to the ecosystem. Everyone's attention span is fucked, and we can only pay attention for 3 seconds before scrolling to the next video, if that. Be honest with me. You probably have already scrolled down to check the comments of this video or looked at the sidebar to see the recommended videos, or maybe you've looked at your phone and scrolled on social media. And that might be even if you find what I'm saying interesting and you want to extend watching this video longer and see what I have to say, you've probably still checked 5 or 6 times. And this isn't a call out or saying that you're weak or anything like that. It's just this is the nature of our current reality, right? Our brains have been bombarded with overstimulation for so long. For some of you that are younger than me, you might have been born with a cell phone in your hand. I was lucky enough to be at least like 21 before the iPhone was really a huge thing, and I had my first. But anyway, there is a brand new direction that creators are moving, and I want to share it with you because it's where I'm going, and I strongly believe in it because this is where I'm going. And I would hope that anybody who can relate to me and wants to sit here and listen to me rant for 30 minutes on the subject, chances are we have something in common. We share some similar goals. And if it's something that I've been researching for a while and have decided to commit to, then it may appeal to you as well. So I'm talking about value creators and synthesizers. If you have ever felt like you had shiny object syndrome, like you start one project, but then before you finish it, you jump to the next, or you're kind of like an extremist. You get really obsessed about things, like you learn about fitness from this fitness YouTuber, and you get super pumped, and you watch all his videos, and you start his program, and you buy supplements, and you start meal prepping, or maybe if you follow me because of golf, like you found George Gankis's page, and you watched all of his videos, and you bought his website course, and started taking lessons and practicing. Like you have an obsessive personality and you go all in on things, and you switch every so often. Every 3 to 6 months, it's like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And you may have even been criticized or shamed or made to feel bad about this, like you're something wrong with you. Why can't you stick in one lane and finish it? Because that's what works better for society, right? Go to school, don't question anything so that you can be trained into getting a job. Again, be trained in your job, don't question anything, and as long as you are a good boy and you do your work and you show up on time every day and you don't talk back to authority, in 5 years you'll get a promotion. And if you stay in there long enough, eventually you'll make 6 figures. And I don't mean to chastise or poke fun at anybody who's in this route. I just think there's a better way, and I think if you're the type of person that I was describing who couldn't handle that one track mind and just kind of accepting your instructions and following along blindly and not really questioning where you would be when you look up in 5, 10, 50 years. If this is you, if what I'm describing is you, check it out. This opportunity is crazy. I'm telling you that everything that you've maybe been made to feel bad for is a strength, and it's why you'll be successful at being a value creator or a synthesizer. It's basically the notion of like needing to pick a niche. If you've ever done any kind of content creation or even just been on social media, you probably are aware that everyone talks about the niche, right? You got to either pick fitness or pick self-improvement or pick finance or pick cooking. Like you have to have a specific niche, and that never gelled for me because I felt that was too limiting. I was like, I don't want to be put in a box. I have like 19 different interests and curiosities and passions, and I have experience and knowledge about all of them. In my own life, my background is being a professional golfer, and that opened up the door for me to be obsessed with peak performance, mental and physical performance. And once I got a little taste through some healthy habits, I got obsessed with exercise, learned how to hydrate properly and drink a gallon of water a day, and I learned a little bit about meditation, learned about cold showers. I very quickly started stacking habits and realized like, holy shit, I can start to feel superhuman when I take really good care of myself. there's a new level of existence and brain power and physical power that didn't exist when I was eating junk food, getting poor sleep, drowning myself in dopamine from social media. And it's like once that door was open for me and I saw the potential for this abundant, amazing life, I never could let go of it. And so it's just been this process that's elaborated on and iterated on itself, where I've gone down, 19 different rabbit holes with all these self-improvement modalities. And it was all through the lens of golf. But now it's become much bigger than that. And I've realized, over the years, I got so much, well-intentioned, but bad advice from people to basically stop being myself, saying like, no, you're too complicated, you have too many interests, this doesn't make any sense, you can't be interested in golf and meditation, right? Like, it's already a stretch to say that you want to golf and be like a weightlifter. Golfers don't lift weights, but you can maybe kind of get away with that. We can kind of connect the dots between golf and fitness. There's a little bit of crossover. Some golfers are going to like fitness, and some, fitness people are going to like golf, but golf and meditation, like, no way. Those are two completely separate boxes. Meditation is for, the airy-fairy hippie type and the Eastern philosophy type, and that's just not going to gel with golf. And I'm just sitting here, I took the advice, basically. I listened to some of these people that either had more followers than me or had agencies that worked with creators and built influencers and personal brands. And I guess I basically let my authenticity and uniqueness kind of get silenced, feeling like, oh, wow, it was the only way. If I want to have a career online, I have to pick something, right? I have to pick a very specific niche and a target audience and speak directly to that person. And I think it's really just recently kind of been disproven. There's a few creators in specific. Dan Coe has kind of been leading the charge, as well as Andrew Kirby, who has this thing called Synthesizers University. And I guess since I've floated that term so many times, let me just explain it to you really quickly. It's somebody who has a desire to learn, has curiosities, and is not too afraid of judgment from other people or needing to stick to the script and follow what everyone else is doing. Someone who's fearless and actually pursues these curiosities, which is like the way I was describing earlier, someone who kind of has shiny object syndrome and is obsessive and goes all in on these different things, and then something new catches their attention and they go down that path. This is a strength. If this is you, you are poised to thrive in the new ecosystem and economy. I think there's unlimited earning potential as well as fulfillment and happiness to come from this career path. And it's basically exploring these curiosities, implementing what you're learning. So maybe you read books, listen to podcasts, subscribe to YouTube channels that are educational, meet people in the real world or in masterminds, or you sign up for courses, whatever your preferred method of learning is, or maybe all of them. You learn things about the topic you're obsessed with, you implement it into your own life, you reflect on your experiences, and then you synthesize this knowledge into basically like a public journal of sorts, whether it's YouTube, social media, a blog, an email newsletter, a website, one-on-one coaching calls or coaching groups, whatever your method for teaching is, or again, all of them. You package up what you just learned and implemented and experimented with into something to hopefully help people 2 steps behind you get to where you currently are. So it's a cyclical process of solving your own problems and then turning around and solving problems for a greater community. And eventually you're basically contributing to human evolution. You're helping humans solve common problems quicker, more effectively, and more cost effectively than you yourself did. So a perfect example of this, right now, the things that have my attention the most would be like meditation, breath work, holotropic or DMT breath work. It's a bit like intentional hyperventilating to create a state of consciousness change where you can begin to release trauma and release stress and limiting beliefs, and you're pushing towards having an ego death, and letting go of frameworks and beliefs that you hold about yourself. And these things shift your perspective, and really your reality. You know, we're all viewing the same world, but the lens that we view it through, which is our own experience, past trauma, built up stress, that change. We obviously, no two people, even though we're going through the same experience, no two people would describe it in the same way. And it's because we're all filtering it through our own mind's eye. And so I'm obsessed with meditation and breath work because these modalities are helping me move closer towards that point of like liberation and just feeling a weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm also obsessed with cold exposure, which has been proven to just absolutely squash anxiety and depression, which are two things that I have struggled with at length for a lot of years. I've been obsessed with nutrition and supplementation. I've been obsessed with exercise and mobility. And again, mind you, this is all through the lens of a golfer. I've been actively pursuing pro golf for 7 years while going down all these different side quests. And for so long, I felt totally misunderstood and like, you know, I needed to get rid of pretty much everything other than the golf. Nobody would listen to me unless it was just directly talking about golf. How am I going to help them get better at golf? And I've struggled so much with this, feeling like I was just trying to do so many good things. I had such pure intentions. I wanted to improve myself, improve my quality of life, and in hand that would improve my family's quality of life, my friends, my community, and one day globally if I kept going down this path. Yet I felt like I was being chastised for it, and social media was suppressing me for it, you know, telling me, oh, you should only make one style of video so that we can figure out who to show your content to and then only show it to it just never made sense to me. I've been questioning it this whole time, doing my best to play within the rules of the system, but really struggling. And all of a sudden, finding Danco, finding Andrew Kirby, it's become clear to me that there are millions of other people out there like me, and the timing for us to kind of take over is now, because it's very one-dimensional and basically replaceable to only talk about one thing, to be stuck in one niche. And those of us that have been, you know, exploring multiple things all along are now poised with a whole backpack full of experience, right? I can sit back and reminisce on 10 years of exploration of dozens of topics, and I've been, you know, diligently note-taking and practicing recording videos, been posting a YouTube video every day lately, tons and tons of short-form content. I'm in a couple mastermind groups, and I'm really challenging myself to add value to these groups and talk about these different things that I've spent money on, books and courses and retreats to develop a skill set with breath work or meditation or cold exposure or exercise. I'm challenging myself to be a teacher, be a leader, break through that fear of the imposter syndrome, like, oh, I couldn't possibly coach someone on golf because I'm not on the PGA Tour. I couldn't possibly coach someone on fitness because I'm not the most fit. And it's like, hey, are you 2 steps ahead of someone, of a beginner? If so, then you're more than qualified to just share the stuff that you've been learning that's been working for you in a little bit of a quicker, more distilled, synthesized thing for the people behind you that have the same goals to learn from you. And it's just so exciting to me because there's 3 eternal markets: health, wealth, and relationships. If you create a product or service in one of these 3 buckets, it's never not going to have an audience. Everyone has a base human need, a survivalistic need for health. If you're not healthy physically and mentally, you die. For wealth, if you don't have resources, whether that's monetary or wherever you live, whatever, you know, now attention is basically our most valuable resource and asset. But again, wealth, and however you want to define it, if we don't have wealth and we can't purchase things, food, homes, shelter, again, we die. And if we don't have relationships, you know, not so much now, it's okay you can exist as a loner, but previously in historic days when we lived in tribes, if you were an outcast and a loner, if you didn't have social skills and couldn't, you know, have status in the tribe, if you weren't a good hunter-gatherer as a male, or if you weren't a nurturing motherly provider as a female, you might be outcast, and then you would die because you'd be by yourself in the woods with no protection or shelter from, you know, bears and tigers and stuff like that. So at its fundamental base level, going back to our genetic programming from however many thousands of years ago you think humans originated, health, wealth, and relationships are foundational. So it's a need and it's also a want. We want to feel better and be healthier. We want to make more money and have more freedom for, location, time, choices in our life, and we want to have better relationships because they're very fulfilling. It's great to connect with other humans, especially like-minded humans. It's easier to progress in life and achieve goals and build things with other people than by yourself. And so what's so exciting to me is that being a synthesizer, being a value creator rather than an influencer, you're on your own journey, improving your own health, wealth, and relationships. We'll call it an overall self-improvement or personal development journey. I like the word self-actualization, which is basically like the realization of your fullest potential in every area. So the pursuit of being your best in all areas. That pursuit, as algorithms on social media and YouTube, and even social media and YouTube, they like serve us things that we're already interested in and searching about and having conversations in the real world about. As we do more of that, we start to find voices that resonate with us. I've mentioned that I really like Dan Coe and Hamza and Andrew Kirby, Alex Hormozy, Andrew Huberman, Greg O'Gallagher, Gary Vee. Everyone's got their own voices that in many cases are saying similar things, but the person's background or the tone of their voice or their set of life experiences makes them more relatable to you. And that's great. That's why the internet is such an awesome thing if you use it intentionally for positive. And you find these people and you read their books, you watch their videos, you sign up for their courses. Maybe you're even fortunate enough to work with them in person or become friends with them if you're doing something equally valuable to what they're doing. And over time, you learn, you apply that knowledge to your own life, you set goals. I have goals with golf, I have goals with fitness, I have mental health goals, I have relationship goals. I want to be this type of husband and this type of father and this type of son. And I want to be surrounded by, inspiring, ambitious people that push me to be better and vice versa. I want to be surrounded by empathetic people. These are all goals and desires I have. I have base level needs for survival, and then I also have wants above them. And as I'm learning from the people that I resonate with and acquiring this knowledge, I implement it into my own life. I'm going on my own journey, improving my health, improving my wealth through my business, creating content, creating my own courses. I'm improving my health and my wealth, and I'm improving my relationships, because the healthier and wealthier I am, the better I feel, the more energy I have, the less time I have to work to make an equivalent amount of money, which gives me more time to devote to other people, helping other people, feeling more fulfilled through that, forming closer bonds with people because of this extra time I have. So health and wealth and relationships are improving as I'm learning and implementing this knowledge from those a few steps ahead of me that I resonate with. And then I'm immediately not waiting until I have gone through a 4-year university, or I've gotten this certification, or I'm on the PGA Tour, or I'm the most fit person in the world, because really what that is at its core, you could call it perfectionism, but I think it's mostly just a cope for fear of judgment and fear of failure. It's like, if I become undeniably the best at this thing before I open up my mouth and try to talk about it, then nobody could ever say anything, right? They could never criticize me because I'm the best. And it's sadly, that's just not true. Even if you are the best, obviously the more good people are at things, usually the more hate they get, because it points a flashlight on people's insecurities and jealousies that they themselves didn't work hard enough to do the thing in life that this person who's the best did. So it's a total fallacy, and it's a total limiting belief to think that if you get to a certain point of success and achievement, then you can talk about it and then you're qualified to be a coach. It's like talking about it on the journey is what's qualifying you to be a coach. Like, you need to be getting real world reps and experience teaching and distilling and synthesizing this information for other people, and it actually clarifies your own journey and your own understanding of this knowledge and how you're implemented into your own life. I'm going through this journey literally right now in my own life. I am challenging myself to break free from these limiting beliefs that I need to stay in one niche, that I need to be better at these things that I'm studying before I can teach them to other people. I'm just doing it. I'm just going right now. And each day I'm gaining confidence that I can lead at least beginners to the level that I'm at in all of these different modalities at the same time, which allows me to live a very fulfilling and happy life, exploring all of the things that I'm curious and passionate about, while also helping other people in the same arenas and getting results for them, while also making a shit ton of money and being able to provide for my parents and being able to take care of my future family and building myself into the type of man that my kids and future wife can be proud of. And so when you put it like that, it's like, I just can't think of anything better. Obviously, this may be a new concept to some of you, and I think if you're watching this video and if you've gotten this far, chances are you're going to start seeing some more creators like myself talking about synthesizing and becoming a value creator and the new era of entrepreneurship and being a solopreneur. I would highly encourage checking out all of those names that I dropped a few minutes ago. They are a few steps ahead of me in this journey, and those are the people I'm learning from and taking cues from right now. I've signed up for a number of courses, a couple of closed inner circle tribes, and I've been just religiously working on myself with the guidance of people that I'm trying to emulate, people that currently are looking like the future of myself, future version of myself that I would like to see. I'm finding that in the world, and then I'm latching on to these people and learning as much as I can and providing as much value to them as I can. And it's just awesome, man. I really, it's just taken a long time to get here, and it's been a really fucking hard, lonely journey, feeling like I was just crazy, right? Like, just no one understood me. No one accepted me like for who I was. I felt very weird and like an outcast and a loner, and like, why can't you just fit in? Why can't you just do something normal? Why can't you just like make up your mind, pick a lane, get a job, do something regular? Like, and of course, I'm a human and I have the same emotions as everyone else. So none of that feels nice. And the desire to be validated and have your peers tell you like, oh yeah, good job. That's a sick job you got. And like, nice, dude, you got the condo and you got the BMW. Like, that's sick. Like, in the moment, that feels great. And there's nothing wrong with doing any of that. It's just that in my particular life and my path, I think it's always been clear to me that it was going to take a while to develop all the stuff I'm talking about in this video, because you can't fake it. It's taken time for me to go deep into all of these different rabbit holes I talked about, to learn and then experiment with and implement the knowledge, and then now be poised and ready to feel like I have a legitimate personal brand. And it's a completely unsaturated market. It's me. No one could replicate me. I'm an undeniable expert on being me. And I'm not trying to tell anyone else how to live their life. I'm literally just in my own lane, living my own life, content and happy and improving daily and being a light for those around me. And life is great. And it's like, I'm not trying to be another fitness YouTuber. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just being me. And for so long, I felt so like wrong for that. And like, there was something wrong with me. That's been a recurring theme in my life, is like, I've just felt like I was broken. I didn't know anyone like me. There was no one in my area geographically, or any friends I had, or people in school that I felt like I could have this type of conversation with, like I'm having right now, and they would really see me. And that hurt, that led to a lot of pain, feeling like I was just a problem. I'm watching my peers and what everyone else is doing, getting into relationships and getting jobs and buying homes, buying cars, accumulating resources and things, and seemingly living these awesome lives. And I just sat here racking my brain day after day after day, trying to figure out how to make sense of it all and how to continue being myself without giving up, I guess. You know, there's been a lot of times where I felt like I just wanted to give up, and like there was no way that I could be me while still being like having a sustainable career path, and I would have to compromise somewhere. But I think an unwavering self-belief and support from my family, emotional support and guidance and mentorship, and um, that's what it's been. I basically owe it all to that. Without the opportunity and the time to explore myself to these lengths and explore my curiosities, I don't think I would be here. And the time that I'm alive too, you know, this opportunity literally didn't exist like 2 years ago. But something I'm really passionate about, and my hope with making this video was to share the information first and foremost about the opportunity that is out there on April 7th, 2023. Today, it's picking up steam quick. If I'm the first person you've heard talk about it, it's not going to be long before you hear some other people talk about it too, because I don't think it's saturated. It's like literally every single person on the planet could do this if they had a cell phone and a stable Wi-Fi connection and safety, and they weren't in, you know, like a war-torn area. I think everyone could potentially do this, and it's just exciting because I view it as a totally positive thing. I think it's a way to advance human evolution at a rate we've never seen before, and people will be solving problems quicker and improving in all areas of life, and people will be making money from it. And anyway, I'll cap it at that for now, but hopefully there was some value in this for some of you guys. And you know, if you have questions, more specifics about who I've learned some of these principles from, I could point you in the right direction of the courses I'm in or the YouTube videos I've watched, things like that. And I'm also going to be starting to basically coach in all of these areas. I'm going to continue making YouTube videos, continue making content, but I'm also developing my own inner circle tribe, which will be like a monthly membership to have, you know, daily group calls, have a tribe of other like-minded individuals pursuing similar goals, pushing each other to be better, holding each other accountable, learning together, growing together. That's really why I feel so great right now, is just in the last 2 weeks, I finally found my tribe by joining a couple other people's inner circles. And I'm on calls like, you know, every other day with these guys right now that are just uplifting me so much. I'm realizing like, wow, I'm not alone. You know, even though geographically I had never found this, when you open up into the global ecosystem, you start realizing like, man, 8 billion is a lot of people. And there are, you know, I don't care who you are and how weird you feel, I guarantee there are millions of other people out there just like you. And the more you openly share who you are online like this, the easier it gets to find them. So I'll leave it at that. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Peace.